Brad, let's have a conversation. You want to do that?
Let's do what?
Let's have a conversation.
Might
Do
as
you
well.
think
We're on a
this
streak.
team is better than they were a month ago, 2 months ago?
I think this team is dramatically better. And, what we've been talking about all year long, it takes time to learn how to win. And they put in the work. We've been knocking right on that door. And the last 2 weeks, we absolutely slammed it shut when you need to. You make big plays and you win the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I think the coaches have done a phenomenal job, despite everybody living and dying on every effing play, putting us in a position to win these games in the fourth quarter. It's a different style than what we've ever played before, because we've always tried to outscore you since 1986. We've tried to outscore you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Willie plays chess. He knows what he has. Most important, he knows what he doesn't have. So don't run the plays for stuff that you don't have. Unfortunately, I think we made the mistake of trying to do that once, and we got that fumble that ended up hurting us. But that kind of pressed our luck there. But this team is just learning how to win, and it's not going to be pretty.
No.
But the most important thing is those numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big time win. Yeah, they're number 17 in the country, but this is a team you did not score on a year ago.
Not only did you not score, you got the doors blown off of you. You got embarrassed. They did not look like they wanted to be there. They wanted to. It's like when I beat somebody, I want their parents to feel sorry for them. I want my opponent's parents to feel really sorry for them. That's what happened to us last year.
Okay, let's take a step back. Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso. That's Brad Towns, and that's Martin Merriquin. And this is Cats from GoCoogs.com. The most important stat we're going to show you tonight. I ain't saying anything. I'm just saying, what's up? You win this game 24-19. You dominate special teams. You dominate on defense. I mean, that was a defensive performance for the ages. And there's just nothing you can say that is too much for what you just saw on defense. I think a half dozen guys had a great game on defense.
Yes.
Hershey, Michael Batten, AJ, Latrell McCutcheon made two big plays. He blocked a kick, and he also batted that ball down in the end zone to end the game.
Yeah, he was big on special teams too.
Absolutely. Martin, what do you have? What did you think of what you saw tonight, buddy?
I mean, it was the Utah game, but against an even better team. Kansas State is a very disciplined program. They're not going to beat themselves. They had that very uncharacteristic offsides that allowed the drive before the drive where we took the lead, the offsides to keep that drive going. But I mean, I was part of the program last year. It was probably the point where we knew that it was the end for us after that Kansas State game. The rest of the season was kind of just lame duck situation. Leading up to scouting for them, we knew we were probably going to lose, but at least, the two of us, but losing 4-0 was not something we were expecting. Obviously,
41-0 there, Martin.
Yeah, don't want to take away that one. Don't want to shortchange them. But I mean, Zion Chris is truly the difference on offense. His ability to make plays with his legs. It's shown up in the TCU game and today. It just takes one play where he finds a crease. The blocking was good on that play. I can't take away from that either.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of ramming our heads into the wall early in the game, but there were very key situations where they made a great call. The fourth down call where Manjack should have gotten a touchdown. Neither here nor there. Great call. Manjack executed it very well, made it look like he was blocking, went out and got that and almost touchdown. Bringing in Donovan for the play after that, very smart.
Yes.
And then the jump pass, another great sucking the defense in. They had just been ramming into a wall with their head down, running the ball to nowhere, and it showed there. It was a great call. So, to Brad's point, the coaches are putting them in positions to play, especially in key situations. I'm going to nitpick at some point through the rest of the time we're talking, but it's the biggest win for the program since 2021. First win against a ranked team, according to Fox Sports after the game. Everybody should be ecstatic right now. I mean, there's going to be things to fix because that's how football works, but I'm not sure there's been a better point for this program since the AAC Conference Championship game. Like, this is probably.
When was the last win over a ranked team? Was that in 2021?
That's what Fox Sports said after the game.
Okay, that's fine.
Who was that? Who did we beat
then?
Wasn't Auburn ranked when we beat them in their bowl game?
No,
I'm
were
not
6
sure.
and
No,
6. They were 6-6.
Oh yeah, well I
don't
6
and
and 6
see
is
any
top 25.
teams. I don't see any teams in 2019 that are ranked, or 2021. Excuse me. I don't see. I mean, it would have to be 2018, maybe South Florida. The first week that we actually had a website here was that week, that South Florida week. That's the last I can recall that you beat a top 25 team.
I think SMU might have been top 25 in one poll when we beat them on the walk-off kickoff return.
Well, U of H does not have that mentioned, and they would certainly want to take credit for that, but
of course,
it's not in the media guide. I'm looking at Wikipedia because this is where we're at. They were not. Well, maybe they were 19 then. So
SMU.
Yeah. So you beat SMU in 2021. The wind is howling here outdoors, but it's so nice to be in weather where it's not 12 degrees. It was so cold in the press box today. I came out onto this unbelievable. It was 58 if it was anything.
Oh, man.
I came out onto this deck, and the very first play I saw was Jeremiah Wilson's interception. And then they scored a touchdown. I was like, all right, crap, I guess I'm out here for the rest of the game. And that worked out. What do you have, Brad? We're going to be joined by one of the big-time players from this game. It's going to be perhaps Michael Batten. It might be Zion Chris. It might be both. We're waiting to hear, you get what you get at this point.
You put your name in for the lottery, and we'll see what we get.
Well, we are the lottery. We're the only ones that do this. So,
well, the good thing is that we get to talk about a win, and so
2 weeks in a row.
Whoever wants to join us can join us. Great.
3 out of 4 weeks. Imagine that.
3 out of 4 games. 2 weeks in a row. This is your first winning streak since 2022. You have not won 2 games in a row in almost 2 full years.
That's wild.
And that goes back to, that was what, ECU
East Carolina. When you went to ECU and beat them 42-3.
Yeah.
And then Temple the week before that in a shootout.
Think back then, if somebody told you after we beat East Carolina that, okay, this is the last time you're going to win back-to-back games until you beat Utah and Kansas State back-to-back.
Ranked Kansas State.
I mean, Utah.
I didn't have that one.
Utah sucks ass, but the name is still good, so we're going to count.
Well,
that
they've
as a
also been
win.
recruiting on that level for a decade.
Yeah, I mean they're recruiting on the backs of Pac-12 championships.
Well, so
Rose Bowl appearances.
Specifically to Utah, beating them is big. Winning today is big for recruiting because there are so many guys, especially on the defense, that Utah is coming into Houston and getting great talent. And we watch them leave to go play for Utah. So whether this is the recruit to transfer situation or these guys are seeing that Willie is building something, this is big for recruiting. I mean, every win is, but these wins are going to mean a lot.
And this was on Big Boy Fox.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So nobody got to see last week on ESPN Plus.
Nah.
but everybody gets to see the big boy Fox. And you had Jason Vendetti doing the play-by-play, who is fantastic. I really like him. Let's talk about this fourth quarter real quick. I looked at the stats, and U of H was averaging 1.5 yards on first down. And that was somewhere in the middle of the third quarter. I think they had 22 yards on first down at that point. They ended up with 81 yards on first down. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you had a ton late. You played so much better in first down early in that series. And I mean, you won special teams in that fourth quarter. You won defense. You won on offense. You won on penalties. Willie's got his five points, his plan for success, whatever he calls it. You won on all of it in that fourth quarter, and you won the fourth quarter. That's a big thing for him too.
2
That's
penalties
surprising. And they were early, if I recall. And then, besides a false start, Kansas State was not called for anything until that fourth quarter. And then they had 3 in the last 2.5 drives. And, the offsides, basically, I don't want to say it lost the game for them, but U of H was going to, that was going to be it. U of H was going to have to punt there. And it did flip the field. Brad, you look like you're wanting to say something. But before you do, Star Pizza. The good people, I was at Star Pizza Thursday night with the Kickers, having a great time. Jack Martin, we put his celebration photo on the wall at Star, and that was a hoot. I kept trying to get him to do the, excuse me, do you know who I am? Do you know my name? Bit, but he was not willing to do that. He had a nice night tonight. Made all his kicks. I don't think he did anything crazy, but he didn't have a letdown. But Star Pizza, the good people at Star Pizza, always helping us out, and we appreciate it. We went over there this week and had a great time. I was with all the specialists. Here's Jack at Star Pizza in front of his photo. We got that one signed, and then we got another one signed and gave it away Thursday night. That'll be out in the mail Monday morning, and then gave Jack one. And so, it's a pretty big deal. What about this? First off, 3 wins. Wrong.
But what have you been saying about Kansas State for weeks?
I thought this was the spot you could do it. I didn't think it was going to be in this.
Hey, rather be lucky than good. Just take that win.
Do it in a monsoon. You need all the help we can get.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have weird things happen to beat a team that is considerably better than you.
And a team who knows how to win close games.
With a really, really good coach.
Yeah.
Really good coach. Black jerseys, once again, for whatever reason, those black jerseys, it happened in 2016 with Ed Oliver and those guys. Our guy, Dane Roy, throws that 16-yard completion. It happened in 2013, USF at NRG, and you won last year, like Martin said last week, against West Virginia in the black. Crazy things happen in those black uniforms.
Marcus
Jones
against SMU.
The Marcus Jones game. Why would you ever wear anything else? But you can't overuse it. You got to be smart. I think you contained Avery Johnson. I think you made him look pretty ordinary.
Yes.
And I don't know if he's great.
So, watching his high school tape and him going to Kansas State with what they do, if he stays there for 4 years when he's a senior, he's going to be in Heisman conversation when he's a senior. I'll just say that with his ability.
No, he has really.
He's just young.
He is, but he's got a lot of playing time at this age.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think that's how good the defense did today. I mean, they contained a guy that I think has the
100%.
ability to break open the game more than any quarterback they're probably going to face all year as far as his ability to throw the ball and running. Sorry, Brad, go ahead.
No, go ahead. The thing that if
I like no, go ahead, and then you start speaking anyway.
no, but
I like that.
But
one.
he had stopped.
No, go ahead. Anyways, that's what I was saying.
If you noticed, a lot of times in the pass rush, they weren't committing to trying to get. What are you doing?
You can see the pouring ass rain, the sideways rain that's coming down right now. All of that stopped on Kansas State's last drive. It cleared. The sun came out.
Yeah.
I have to move my microphone closer because I've got my fan blowing a million miles an hour on me. Anyhow, if you notice, they weren't committing full rush to get upfield. They were staying in their lane, playing discipline, and trying to knock the ball down. And I think we had what, 2 or 3 batted balls.
Keith Cooper did one. Hershey McLaurin did one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one more, but I can't remember who. But yeah.
It might have been Batten, who was everywhere late in this game.
It's a fair guess. It's probably right.
But yeah,
Avery Johnson ran for 18 yards.
Yeah.
He threw for 238, which is fine, but he had 2 interceptions.
Oh man, they're covering up your TV.
Yeah, they do that. I don't blame them.
And 238 on 40 attempts. I mean, you'll take that. That's what, maybe 6 or 7 an attempt. He's not pushing the ball down. They had the one big play, but you know, they did a good job of keeping things in front of them, forcing him to find somebody open.
And you know, we've heard a lot about how that quarterback, how fast he's the fastest guy around, just pure speed. He got his ass walked down by Batten trying to turn the corner. It's like, no, son, get back here. Real quarterbacks can play linebacker. Get back here.
Yeah, I think that's more of a feather in Batten's cap.
He does look like Starnes though.
Oh,
Avery Johnson, is that
Avery Johnson? He looks like Starnes.
well, pre haircut, but
yeah.
I was on the field before the game watching him go through some things, and he was just in a t-shirt. He didn't have his pads on, and Starnes has bigger arms. Like he's built like a middle school girl. Great player. U of H won this game with 232 yards.
Mm-hmm.
232. You ran 23 less plays. You ran 52 plays. Okay, 23 plays less than them, and you beat them.
Yeah. I was sitting there. I'm probably crazy, but I'm watching them take these long 7-8 minute 12 play drives or whatever. I'm like, you're just playing into our hands, man.
Willie had no issue with that.
If you aren't scoring, you were creating a problem for yourself, because if we can force a field goal out of it, that's like turning it over at the 50. That means you just wasted 10 minutes. But hey, you know, hang on to the ball as long as you want. We're just trying to get to the fourth quarter. And then we let our conditioning take over and go full animal style. I mean, hey, look, man, Hester's a magician. We don't talk about it much because we haven't been able to see it very often, but the last 2 weeks has shown something, that these guys got a lot of gas in the tank and they are ready to rock in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. You're going to, you know, Willie has no issue winning these games ugly.
No.
But, I mean, he's already crowd surfed, right? He already did that tonight. I'm sure we'll see the video of it.
Hey, you do it every win possible.
By getting ice cream on Wednesday or Tuesday. I mean, this is pretty good.
It's a monster win, and I'm proud of these players that they put themselves in a position to, you know, it's what what Kellen has talked with us. You know, guys just have to give in.
Yep. They have to surrender.
And that's exactly what these guys have done, top to bottom. They've surrendered, and now they're seeing all those lessons when we talked about it, finally seeing the lessons pay off on the win against Rice, and then taking a couple of more beatings, the steps backward, and understanding and learning that there is you can't let up at all, no matter what. Nothing's gonna come easy. You got to win every single play. You got to do it in practice too. And it's just fun to see the whole plan come together.
Kansas State won time of possession 31 minutes to 29 minutes. UVH ran 52 plays. That means they took 34 seconds a snap. That is unbelievable. That's exactly what Willie wants to do. There was a play late in the game where Kansas State kind of got cute and ran a guy, jogged him off, and he wove his way to the sideline. And it got down to 1 second. Willie had to call timeout. It was a 3rd and 12 play or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Willie called timeout. And I mean, Willie's like, all right, go ahead, run those 39 seconds. We're going to run this ball up the middle anyways. It doesn't matter. So,
Ryan, let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this.
Who is this guy? Where did he come from? And can we call him Batman?
Are we talking about Michael Batten?
No, DJ Butler.
Oh. Well, I see my thing would have played better into his name, but your thing works too.
Well, I mean, he just came out of nowhere, it seems. All of a sudden just steps in, and I was a little concerned with Snead going to be out today.
And you did struggle running the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he picked up some big time yards.
Yeah.
And looked impressive doing it.
So he's been getting more action in practice. And a couple of weeks ago, they put him in on kickoff return. And that's when Willie starts trusting you on special teams, is when he starts trusting you. And so they put him back with Mekhi Muse on kickoff return. It was like, that's interesting. I think it was the Kansas game. And he got a few carries there. He got carries last week. And now again, he's starting to build and build. And you're going to have 3 freshmen going into the offseason. The math says that one of those guys transfers, right? Just the math. I'm not saying, but you're still going to have quite a bit of freshmen going into sophomore year running back talent. And you've got to be pretty excited about that. If you can find a guy that can get the ball to receivers, you're going to be a formidable opponent next year. Mekhi Muse had 4 catches tonight. And everybody else had 1. Manjack, Devin Williams, Zion Chris had a catch. Jonah Wilson, Sanford, Butler, and Stephon Johnson all have 1 catch. Oh, and Malik Carr had the 1 catch for the touchdown.
Man, like we said a few weeks ago, man, put Manjack in there at quarterback. Let's see what happens. And look at him. He put it right where he needed to.
Yeah,
for a strike.
He called me out 12 days ago and was like, "Just put me in." Which that's against my beliefs. I don't want to cracker at quarterback. But whatever. Finally getting the ball. Yeah.
I mean, you look at the receiving. He got 10 people caught a pass, but only 1 who caught more than 1.
And last week you had 6 people catch a pass, and they all caught 1.
Yeah.
So yeah. But how about this passing game? 12 of 12 tonight. Zion was 11-11. Manjack was perfect.
I mean, if you're only going to throw it a few times, you might as well complete them all.
Is there a quarterback controversy between Manjack and Zion Chris?
Ooh, let's start that. We can start that.
Yeah, we start exactly. Michael Batten had 11 tackles, 4 solo, a tackle and a half TFL, and the interception. He was everywhere. You had 8 tackles for loss. just off the top of my head, I think that's the most in a game this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if they had a better game, I'm not sure when that would have been. Maybe last week.
I mean,
I don't think you did.
It's like Batten heard all the hype from K-State's linebackers. He's like, I can do that. Watch. I can do that. Watch.
Last week, U of H had 6 tackles for loss. So this is a little better. I mean, this is, I have been thinking for 2 weeks that this was possible, but I am still floored that it happened. I really am.
Yeah.
It felt like they're there for a little bit in the third quarter. It's like, oh, shoot, this might get away from us.
Well, when it got to 9, when they increased it to 9, you thought, uh-oh, it's not good.
But the defense came up and made stops.
They stuck with it.
That's the thing. You got a defense. Your defense can still give up yards. Your defense can still give up some points. But if they can get off the field, just get off the field.
Yeah.
Then you're good to go.
They didn't even really give up yards. Coming into today,
here's the quarterback of the future.
We called for it. We got it.
Manjack, is there a quarterback controversy between you and Zion Chris?
Hey, do your job. If the opportunity comes, I'll give it the best of this team.
Okay, break that down for us. You throwing that ball. Tell us about the play. How long y'all been working on that?
We put it in, I think this week and or maybe last week, and my job is to loop around, throw it to Zion. If it's not there, take off running, and I trusted him to catch it, even though he got boomed. I saw him on the sideline. I was like, I trust him, so I threw it. We made it happen. So on to the next after that.
How would you rate your throw?
It looked like a duck, in my opinion, but hey, first down's a first down. I'm not going to rate it. I say it'd be good because the play was successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Down here on this other end, did you get in the end zone?
I guess I didn't. I thought I did, but, it doesn't matter as long as we end up scoring on that drive anyways. We did the next play, so.
They didn't even review that is the craziest thing.
Yeah, you weren't down. You
really weren't.
I got.
They didn't review it. What were they doing with all that time?
I don't know. I thought Manjack was just going to call timeout and say, no, this is mine. Ain't nobody stealing my touchdown. I worked too hard for this.
Pointing at the screen.
Now I did see you watching the screen.
Yeah.
All the way down there.
I thought, see where that guy was. But at the end of the day, we scored the next play, so it doesn't matter who gets in there as long as the Cougs win.
That's right.
What is it like being an offensive player, having this defense? You know that they're going to get you that ball back. Does that pump you up?
It's exciting to watch, seeing defense make plays. They get the ball in their hands, which is, typically in football is rare. But, seeing defense like that is just something very exciting to watch.
Guys, y'all have anything for him? We weren't expecting you. We were expecting, Zion or Batten. We didn't know you were coming on.
I hope
but
I didn't upset you. It sounds like it kind of
no, not at all.
Talk to me, but hey.
No, I want to have this quarterback controversy be our thing. We want, you told me after practice a couple weeks ago, hey, put me in at quarterback. Well, they did. And you were okay.
I didn't say that.
You were okay.
Hey, the play was successful, so it all worked out, and we won.
Yep.
I'm all for seeing it again.
Yeah.
So what is after this big win? What's next? Y'all got how many more do you got?
Get your mind right, get your body right. Just keep coming to work at practice, and do whatever you got to do to get ready going into Arizona. So, just on to the next.
Are you going to do anything special during this bye week, or just?
I'm gonna see my Uncle Darren. I'm gonna see my family, see my girlfriend, and then get off my feet. Maybe go fishing.
Do you think that maybe you'll find yourself a quarterback specialist to work with? Work on your passing game.
I have a question. Do you want me to play quarterback? What's going on?
No, because the other guy's winning.
Exactly.
And I don't
I think
know
we found
about
a recipe.
your winning. Yeah. All right, Jack, we appreciate it. Or Joseph, damn it. Sorry about that. We had Jack on last week.
Obviously, we know who didn't want me on here. We know who really
Yeah.
didn't want me on here.
Yeah, well, I was hoping for Jaden York, but we got you, and so
Nah,
Ryan,
that's
you gotta get the man a hat. He's been on here enough now.
yeah, we're getting him a hat.
He's earned the hat.
All right, Joseph Manjack should have a touchdown. Should have a touchdown throw, but you got to win.
we
You got
did
3
get
wins in the Big 12. That's pretty good.
it. Can't
It's
complain.
legit.
Can't complain. Happy about
All
it.
right.
Very happy.
Congratulations,
Joseph.
man. Great game.
Good
All
to see
right.
you, man.
There he
Go
goes.
Cougs.
What a dumbass. I love that guy. He's a good shit talker. Like, of all the guys that can do that, he's right up there.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna. Well, thankfully, I don't have to go see him in practice this week. But otherwise, I'm gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
So, as Joseph Manjack did not know we were getting him.
It's good to see him. It's good to see him. I hope these guys are able to go and truly enjoy this. I know I would, but I was a player at a different time, and we did a lot of foul things. We didn't have our own food.
My bank account. But other than that, no.
Okay, so Martin is missing him. Now look at all these comments you could have put up when Manjack was on, Brad. You kind of messed up on that one.
I was talking. Don't know.
First off,
Don't know.
who are you putting him in for? Rashawn? No.
No.
DJ Butler? No. Jamarian Burnett? No.
I mean,
Parker Jenkins has not run through the hole this year. He's got to get better at that. He's got to get better at pass blocking. When these guys who are freshmen can pass block and can run through the hole, run downfield, why would you take them off the field? And I mean, I'm not being mean about it, but
well, here's the
you've
thing.
got to show that you can do that.
One thing that should be very, very obvious with the emergence of Burnett and DJ is that performance in practice means a lot because they've practiced their way into the lineup and they've got in and played. Who's Ryan Joseph?
I think there was supposed to be a comma in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ryan, Joseph.
is that it? I was like, is that a new pen name for you?
No, it's for the other guy, Jack Joseph.
Jack Manjack.
Jack
Manjack.
Manjack. Joseph.
Yeah, that guy. It was pretty good. He's fine. I like him. Oh,
I know.
Brad, talk about
ahead.
Star Pizza for us, because we have not had enough representation for those people.
Yeah, I haven't been able to eat them much, but I am eating them. I am going there tonight. I am going to get a celebration pizza. Probably a sausage pepperoni with extra cheese and wheat crust, and I might even get a cake. And it's not going to be good for my
Your
blood
other stuff.
pressure. My blood pressure, and it might give me diabetes. But you know what? It's worth it this week. I'll just go and exercise a little bit more. Look at that. See? Monster.
That's the Star Pizza guy, Brad Towns. Loves him some Star Pizza.
Dang right.
Dang right. Star Pizza, 3 locations, 59 in Shepherd on Norfolk, Harvard in Washington, and then out in Katy. Go get it. Had it set Thursday night. Was fantastic at the table, we had, I think, 9 specialists. And Jack Martin gets a sandwich that he loves. A lot of guys had pasta. And then there was, I think, Jacob Garza, the long snapper, ordered the biggest pizza they have. It was like 4 feet across.
Nice.
It was enormous, and he ate the whole thing himself. So there you go.
He needs it.
Yeah, he does need it, poor guy.
Yeah.
U of H just tweeted out that this was the first top 25 win, beating number 17 Kansas State since you beat number 17-14 South Florida in 2017. That's what I thought, but we're gonna have to find out about that SMU team in 2021. So we'll figure it out. But they say it's South Florida 7 years ago, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that is true. Golly. That is right when we started.
It's when we started the Veer, our private message board.
Yeah.
Was that week. And it's been a weird 7 years. So I think the refs missed on 2 plays that should have been reviewed at a bare minimum. You have the Manjack play down here in this end zone where I didn't know live, but after seeing the replay once or twice, I was like, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was right between, I think, the first and second quarters. And so they had forever to review it, and they never, ever went to the monitor. And it just makes no sense how on a potential scoring play, you don't go review that. And then a little bit later on, Leon Chris had I think a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, and he picked up what they said was 8 yards. But I think he got 9 yards. I think he got to the first down marker. And
I agree.
Usually it's a kind of a slow waiting. The refs or the line judge kind of slow waiting to find out the yard, but they ran right up and marked it short. And I think he got it there. And I think that should have been reviewed. And I don't know if that's on Willie. I mean, the first one, they had an entire quarter break and should have reviewed it. But that second one, I think maybe Willie should have encouraged a review, maybe a challenger or something like that. But you got to give him a chance to review that play. Do we have anything comment-wise? Let me look. He was in.
And I texted
Okay.
I texted you that before the
You really did. You
before the
absolutely
replay
did.
was even showed. And I mean, when they showed the first quick replay, you could see that as he was going down, his knee wasn't touching until he had already crossed. It
Right.
looked like it because normally whenever a guy falls that way, their knee goes down immediately, but his knee stayed up. I thought he did a good job to stay in. And thankfully we scored, but still I think they should get the call correct.
Yes, they should. This is probably accurate. Nobody wants to acknowledge the Dana years. You need 2 more wins. But Arizona pretty much quit today in Orlando.
I'll tell you this.
That was ugly.
You've got 2 wins on the schedule. There's 2 wins up
Yeah.
for grabs.
Yeah.
That you very well could, and you can make a case for should beat Arizona and Baylor.
If you beat Arizona, that brings you to that Baylor game. Week 13, game 11. You're going to be wearing the blues, which, I mean, I think has gone over pretty well with this fan base in the last 36 hours.
Yes.
Baylor's playing better, but you've got a real shot. And if you can go to Arizona and get a win, and that's going to be hard. It's a Friday night. Weird stuff happens. This Arizona team, I believe, has a bye or a week off this week, just like U of H. And then you go into that game. But this is not going well for them, for Brent Brennan and that group. They are pretty much completely cratered.
Yeah.
This might be a bad time for U of H to get an off week. It could be a very good time. But they have momentum right now. You put two games together that you really didn't expect to win.
No, at the beginning of the season, I think we talked about
loss.
Well, 3 losses. Kansas.
Well, that one you did lose.
Yeah, but we had those marked preseason as probably a really painful stretch where we might get outscored, 120-7. That was feasible. That was on the table.
Yeah.
But this team turned into a different animal.
They're learning to win, and I think that's the most important thing. U of H just tweeted out that was the least amount of points given up by a U of H team in Big 12 play.
Wow.
How about that? That's the least amount of points you've given up in Big 12 play in 2 seasons.
With 3 games to go?
No. In a game, one game, U of H just gave up 19 points. Last year in the Big 12, you gave up 49, 39, 31, 41, 24, 24, 43, 27. This year you're giving up a...
Didn't we just beat Utah 17-14?
Okay, well, facts sometimes are on your side.
I mean, we held TCU to 19.
I didn't tweet it out.
We held TCU to 19.
What are they trying to say? Let's see.
I mean, Iowa State only scored 20.
Okay. So 3 of the last 4 games have been the lowest you've given up in the Big 12.
Okay, fair enough. You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they said. I didn't see the whole tweet come across my screen.
It's weird. I mean, you've got the 2 outliers of Kansas and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then you've only given up 20,
19, 14, 19. It's crazy.
Now, at the beginning of the year, people thought we were crazy when we were talking about, hey, this defense looks really good. I'm not sure if it's the offenses or not. This defense looks pretty damn good. And, the OU's offense sucks. Rice is Rice. And UNLV could have done a lot more if they really cared. And
if they needed to.
And then Cincy blows our doors off, and it's like, see, I told you. And then we shut down Iowa State. And, Iowa State doesn't do that much offense. And then shut down TCU. And, I think at this point you got to say that this is a pretty damn good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a top 25 defense in most categories, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I'd seen a little bit of it, but I didn't know that Tech had beaten Iowa State.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
They have so those 2 losses, them and Kansas State, have kind of opened the door for Colorado to make the playoff if they win out.
I think U of H is still in that playoff hunt. I think you were outside of that top 25 2 weeks ago, but now you're closing.
God, I would just love to backdoor a bowl. Not that way.
It's a family program.
Steal a bowl game after starting the season off very roughly.
So Willie's first season in the Big 12 is already the best season for the program in the Big 12 historically.
Yeah. Nothing gets by him.
Yep.
I am just so impressed with how bad you looked early in this season. If you go back to UNLV and you scored that touchdown with Uyale in the garbage time of garbage time, and then really you scored 12 points at Oklahoma, 6 of those coming, or 7 of those coming from Joseph Kim, who's not even kicking anymore. And then you get the Rice, and then you get shut out twice in a row. I mean, things were not great. But these last 4 games, going over about 36 days, I guess, because you played on a Friday at TCU all the way to today. This has been better. I mean, the offense still is not good, and I think we can all agree on that. But the way the team is playing as a team, I was a little worried this week because it looked like, at least on social media, their players were still patting each other on the ass until Friday about that win last week. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. But, they came together and got it done. This should be a game that fans appreciate, because I think today is the first day of the rest of your lives in terms of football.
Yeah.
Like, this is the game that people are going to look back and say, that's when it started. Yeah, you got that win last week, but this is when it started.
This is the first win that you've got where nobody can say, yeah, but, meaning like, yeah, but, Utah sucks this year. Yeah, but TCU kind of sucks this year.
TCU's got a winning record.
But K-State is straight up legit. The two of the wins that you got with K-State and TCU, those are teams that just beat the crap out of you last year.
Yeah.
I mean, just physically dominated you.
We have been on for 48 minutes. This game was scheduled at 2:30. It didn't start. It was supposed to then start at 2:40. It ended up starting at 3:35. We've been doing this for 48 minutes. Rice is still 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. They started at the exact same time as U of H. Why 4 miles away is the weather so much fucking worse than it is here?
I don't know.
I mean, are they that worried about playing the Navy in some rain? You give them a little water advantage.
You got to support the troops.
Hey, you got to support the troops. But what is going on? It makes no sense what's happening.
Maybe they think that if they play, they don't want to give Navy the advantage by playing in the water. They figure they have a water advantage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Sonar communication being another. So.
Yeah.
Oh, today was Military Appreciation Day, so you guys are welcome.
It was.
For the win.
Yeah. Yeah. The coaches were all wearing the Nike. I don't even know. They call them military. It used to be a combat thing. Now it's called military colors. They looked okay. They looked fine. I was down on the field. I was like, all right, those are nice.
Did you see Army's helmet today?
I did not. Good.
Yeah,
it looked good.
It was a murdered out helmet with the black on black skull and crossbones on the side. Murdered out means like matte black with everything black on it, even the design.
Okay. Army typically does really good in these helmet situations.
So does
they do some bad.
Them and
so
Navy
does the Navy
both.
too. Yeah, both of them.
Theirs are phenomenal.
Air Force, but Army and Navy.
Whack.
Okay. What a crazy night. 111 passing yards, 121 rushing yards. That's a balanced offense right there, Brad.
Yes.
That is a balanced offense. 10 first downs. Who wins a football game with 10 first downs?
Well, and as much as we want to, as much as people want to nitpick every single freaking play during the game,
they want to do that.
Understand that this is the least amount of talent. No offense to all the players on this roster, but this is the least amount of talent we'll ever play with.
Collectively, it's the least amount.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say.
I think within 2 years, nearly every position will be upgraded quite a bit. If he's doing this with this group of players, you can see how much better he would be able to perform getting a different level of player. It's no different. It's no different than the way that that Kelvin Sampson came in. We love those first teams, but over time they got better. Players get better and better and better. So what it's doing is it's raising the floor across the board. And so give us 2 years. You saw that with Tulane. All of a sudden they turned into a juggernaut.
It took a while.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They had some 7-win teams in there, which for Tulane, pretty good.
Yeah.
You get bowl eligible at Tulane. I mean, before he got there, they had gone like 20 some odd years with one bowl appearance.
Yeah, and
there was a time when you would miss a bowl if you won 8 games, but with the advent of everybody gets a bowl game of just be 6-6 these days, now you can be 5-7.
Yeah.
But you got to feel really, 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 really good about the future. As good as you feel right now about the current. Is it 1970s? I don't know, man. I think it might be even further. It's like 1910 Harvard.
This is 2023 Iowa football, buddy.
True.
Those people are all pissed off about it. You win games. Who cares? Win the game. K-State outgained Houston in every offensive category, forced turnovers, and special teams. Won this game for you.
Except points. That one sticky category.
Damn. You think you're doing a great job, and all of a sudden you forget the one that category.
But see, this makes up for those times where we've lost after we racked up, 650 yards total offense.
Right. But you're bad on special teams. You turn it over. That's what wins games.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy knows it. He just understands it. Half of this game was him positioning himself to get field position and win that battle. That means a lot to this guy. And I mean, you see some really bad looking play calls on 2nd and 3rd down. And yeah, there's a lot of them. But Willie believes getting off a good punt is a win. Because if you keep fixing that field position in your spot, it's going to turn into something great. And it did. And, the guy, he knows how to win with less talent than the opponent. Like, if you give him credit for anything, he has that part down pat.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've been the only person pimping this team for 6 weeks. Just like, it's going to come. It's going to come. Be patient. There's not that much talent collectively. But hey, it looks like they're starting to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And they're learning that winning is way better.
I mean, the thing that I like the most is Willie's humble enough to do whatever it takes. He doesn't care about style. He doesn't care about his system. His system is wins are the only thing that matter. It doesn't matter how you get them. And so with that, if you're a system guy like people we've had previously, that they can only operate within a specific system. And if they don't have the players there to execute their system, you are completely and totally fucked. It's done. There's no chance. That means you can't fucking coach this shit. But with Willie, it's like, you know what? I would like to do this, but I don't have the people to do that. What can we do to do it? Well, let's just play chess. Let's make it really, really ugly. Punting is going to be one of our weapons. Now, that's perfect for Ryan because Ryan is a punting
nerd.
I mean, you got T-shirts made up about punting.
Doherty kicked for 44 yards an average today. I get to meet his dad Thursday night. And, I mean, never been to an American football game. Now he's been to 2. He's 2-0. Yeah, I've been thinking, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So good for them. That is a genuinely good kid. Like, I like that guy. And, I mean, all the special teams guys are a hoot. And I hope we get to showcase that as we go on, maybe into spring ball. Long snappers are funny as shit. Kickers, what are they doing?
Long snappers have to have something kind of like a relief pitcher. They got to have a screw loose.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing to specialize in, but how about it?
Well, I mean, think in the past it was kind of a suicide deal because you would just get your head shoved straight down your neck.
Yeah. Now, they don't really get to touch it.
But you're seeing the world upside down between your own legs. So that's got to be weird.
I did not get to see this. I will go back and watch it. This is 100% accurate. They had a bad snap. They had a block.
They had 2 bad snaps, right?
I don't remember. They muffed a punt. Bad day for the.
Well, and they fielded that punt at the 1 at the end.
Now, that pissed me off.
Like,
I mean, why would you do that? You take time off the clock. You didn't have any time. They could have used that at the 40-yard line.
I thought it was a brilliant strategy for us.
That's the other side of it. Brad Towns.
I have to admit, whenever games get close like this, I have U of H stats up. And thanks to the delay on TV, I get to read it before it happens. So I just sat there and I was just watching what comes across written before I could even look at the TV. It's like I can't watch this.
I hate that about Twitter. It ruins some stuff because you see people reacting to stuff you haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
but I love this. It's like, okay, I can't sit here and deal with it. My blood pressure is way too high. If I can know, before, like last year when we lost or when we beat West Virginia, when they scored,
West Virginia,
when West Virginia scored to what it looked like it was going to be the game-winning touchdown, I turned it off. But I still had UH stats up. And then I saw that we scored, so I turned it back on. Like, I got to see how that happened.
It was a pretty good ending there.
Yeah. I've not been a part of many things like that in football. I didn't have a long career, but I've not seen a professional group of guys just lose their shit and not care about any penalty that was going to come. We caught that ball and everybody just sprinted in that direction. Nobody cared how much time was left. Nothing mattered.
Houston did outrush them. That is correct. Most of that was the run by Zion Chris. Yeah. Man, just talk about breaking out of a pack. Just he, as I saw it, he evaded one guy. He broke a tackle, and he was gone. And he gets faster as he goes. It's amazing between the 30 and the goal line. He finds another speed. And, that was pretty cool. Go ahead, Brad.
Zion, his lateral movement is insane. His quickness in being able to shift and go in a different direction is insane. I forget the kid's name, the linebacker, the stud linebacker for K-State. They had a slow motion replay from the back, and he Zion just shook that guy out of his boots.
Yeah, that's Austin Romaine.
Yeah. It's like
not to be. Go ahead.
It's like this is a really good player, and for Zion to do that, he has to have some incredible physical tools. It'll be interesting to watch him over time, to see him develop, because he's got something.
They have a defensive end whose name is Cody Stufflebean, and he went out for the coin toss, and I looked at his name and I was like, how do I not know this name? And he's a starter. He only had 2 tackles. The kid, Colby McAllister, the kid from here in town, he went to, I believe, Clearbrook, went to U of H games his entire life. Cousin of Eric Lee, who played baseball here. Nephew of Woody Lee, one of our favorite guys ever.
Mm-hmm.
This kid wanted to play at U of H his entire life. Dana didn't recruit him. Had a couple of tackles. Good for him. Solo tackles for Kansas State. Just want to point those things out when they happen.
Sorry, guys.
Can you imagine how miserable it would have been to sit through this game and this weather as a Kid State, I think, Kansas State fan who drove from Kansas like many of them did?
Ooh.
Brad.
Boom. Juan, thank you.
You know what a super sticker is?
Oh, it's a sticker that is super.
That's very super. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a donation. I appreciate it.
There's a sticker on there that's $10,000. And if any of y'all want to give that one, that's a sticker. You can have whatever you want. You can have one of those Jack Martin hats. Thank you, Juan. We appreciate that. That's
Juan,
pretty awesome.
That is pretty badass. Thank you so much.
Yes. Brad, you will not see a penny of that.
Well,
but
I mean, it just goes back into the site.
Goes back into what we do. Yeah. We're going to do a pretty big show tomorrow night. We have at least 2 guests scheduled. We might have a 3rd soon. Big guests. I'm excited. We'll let y'all know those in the morning. And then we have basketball starting Monday night. We're going to do 3 shows in 3 nights. How about that?
Sorry, guys. I was just going to have to see too much of us.
Do tomorrow night's show and then do Cats after the game on Monday night. I think we have 10 people, 10 covering basketball for us this year. How nuts is that? A couple photographers, a videographer. We've got the Old Men, that podcast. We've got Galen. We've got you. We've got me. How about it? Spotted in the facility on Halloween. That's Jack Martin wearing his GoCoogs hat. How about that?
Is he supposed to be you?
No, his beard has a lot of black hair in it. Mine has very, very little. Not so much. So if he was, that was the worst impersonation I've ever seen.
So do we have any reports of any recruits in the stands for tonight? Anybody that was out there?
I don't have any. It's a weird time of year for high school players.
Right.
But if
especially with the rain.
Yeah, this weather is miserable. It's pouring still.
Well, it's been miserable.
I hear a baby, so I'm guessing that's not from Brad.
You don't know that.
Oh, poor Martin. You don't know that. You do get an extra hour of sleep. The most important part about this is I have a clock in a really hard to reach part of my house, and it's going to be correct again. And I'm so excited because it's been incorrect for 6 months.
Dang, that means I'm going to have to turn. I had a clock that didn't work for about 7 years, and
you had a watch that didn't work for about 7 years.
I still do.
It's just a battery, Brad.
Yeah. But I got to go to the mall to get it, and I'm allergic to
You don't have to go to the mall. It's on Amazon.
I know, but then I have to do it myself.
Go to a pawn shop, and they'll do it for you.
Okay.
That's one you didn't know.
But my mom, when she came down here, she looked up there. She goes, "Is that clock not working?" I'm like, "It hadn't moved in like 8 years." So I changed the battery, and now I'm gonna have to go change the dang clocks. Thanks, Mom, giving me more work. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
She's just being silent until Galen comes on tomorrow. But if Galen doesn't come on tomorrow,
Monday,
she's gonna
we
be,
will not see him tomorrow.
or on Monday. If he doesn't show up on Monday, then she's gonna have words with you.
Bring it. I will tell her what I tell my mother when she has words with me. For putting you in a home.
The funny thing is that your people up in North Louisiana probably know our people in North Louisiana.
Okay.
So if y'all start
I
talking,
just think they all know about each other.
They'll probably, yeah, I think they're all inbred up there.
Well,
at least
can't disagree with you there.
That's what I learned from family reunions.
Anyways,
seeing a lot of play calling and receivers should get more involved comments, and I'm curious how people think that's going to happen. We're 9 games in, guys. This is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you've played 3/4 of your games. You are who you are.
But I think there's a fundamental disconnect in understanding how the passing game works. You would love to be able to get the ball downfield, but to get the ball downfield, you have to have one very, very specific thing. That's time.
How do you get that?
Well, I mean, obviously you call the right play, and then, if you call it from the right section of plays that work section, then then it works, and you just magically get time. But that's the problem, is that you're asking your offensive line to do things that your offensive line doesn't do really well consistently. You're asking the quarterback to do things he doesn't do really well consistently, and that is make quick, accurate decisions. You would like to be able to get you want to limit his options to you've got these two reads based on these two players. I want you to read the safety, know where that is, and I want you to read the end and see what he's going to do. So you make your decisions off that. And then if everything's broken down, just run. But you got to do it within like 2 or 3 seconds.
Correct. When you see how difficult it is to complete a pass 5 yards down the field for this group, I mean, it's kind of excruciating to watch.
Yeah. Because
it's so much effort to get these very short passing plays to work.
Well,
they could go 5 wide, but
oh no,
there goes your 6th and 7th blockers.
Yeah, I mean they were. I think he started. He was definitely playing most of the game. Shamar Abdi-Lee was playing left tackle, and that's left tackle number 3 this season. I mean, they're patchworking a line to get something.
Abdi-Lee started the game at left guard, started the game at left tackle. Jake Wiley moved inside. And then they switched. It was nuts. And then Abdi-Lee goes to the right side in Duque. You had a lot of moving parts. And this week in practice, they were working backup centers because you lost Sam Seacrest in the last game. So they're working backup centers, which means that's Peyton Dunn. So you had to put somebody at guard. Well, then you're really thin at the 2 tackle spots. So they're kind of figuring things out on the fly, and they did it. Yeah. You saw how bad it looked early in this game. Mm-hmm. And Duque came back, and they moved Wiley back. And Hank Jenkins did not start the game because he had been sick all week. They chose not to start him. I don't know why. So they're working things out. And obviously, that is the one place you need to recruit and develop. And you're not going to get 5 stars. You're not going to get them in NIL on the offensive line. It's just not going to happen. So you've got to bring guys in their 3rd and 4th and 5th years, have them contribute. Well, you've still got 24 months till that happens.
Yeah.
So you've got to. It's just going to be a patience thing.
Well, in the number one thing we have to do as an offense, one is don't turn the ball over.
1 second, Brad. This is the play I was talking about specifically in my head. When Muse had to, and I mean the kid's 5 foot tall, so you gotta do something. I mean, even Rashawn Sanford caught a ball on his sideline. It was like, how did he get to that?
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, Brad.
First, you get this is just going by what I see and make sense of what we're doing offensively. One, don't turn the ball over. The goal is to not turn the ball over. We've seen what happens with that, unfortunately. So that's the number one goal. 2, we want to move the ball, but more importantly, early in the game, we want to move it and eat clock and take time. So worst case scenario, you don't turn it over and you have a 3 and out and you take up a minute and a half on the clock. You mix in a couple of first downs, then you're going to take, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then you're going, yes. Oh, matter of fact, I just ordered it online, so it should be here in about an hour. So every once in a while, you're going to be able to get a favorable matchup to where you can take a shot, just like you saw today. You're going to be able to get the ball downfield. But you've got to figure a way to be able to try to run plays that will set up other plays and move the ball enough to where you can, at worst, get 3 or get good field position on a punt. And do that enough to be effective enough.
Martin?
Do that enough and be effective enough to be able to get to the 4th quarter and hopefully get it down to one last shot, just like we had the last 2 games.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be patience, like you said, Ryan, about the offensive line, because the guys that they just brought in to develop aren't going to be ready next year. So it's going to be another year of hodgepodge, hopefully finding some FCS guys that they're already scouting that they think can play at the next level, some JUCO guys. I mean, it's going to be another year of patchwork and probably a similar looking offense next year. And guys are going fans, to be specific, going to be happy with the outside receivers not getting the ball. Hopefully Jonah Wilson is still here next year. And all these younger guys to build with the program, because I think they see what everybody else sees. I mean, they're in the building, so they see it better than us. But, I mean, I do think they brought in good talent. I've mentioned in the past, but those guys aren't going to be ready next year. And if they are, then things are going to be ahead of schedule and things are going to really take off from there. But I just think more than any group, you need consistency at the O-line, and you need 5 guys who are every snap playing together as long as they're healthy. So until they have 5 guys at every spot that they can trust to play each position, it's just, this is probably what the offense is going to look like unless, they get some god at quarterback.
In what, the last 3 years, we've seen 18 offensive linemen leave the program. Yeah. And I think only 5 of them ran out of eligibility. So you've lost years of practice development. Those guys are no longer here.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to benefit the future when these younger guys get in and they spend a few years with each other. They will have a working understanding of not only what they're going to be doing, but what their partner next to them is going to be doing, and be able to develop that level of trust, to know that when you see an exotic scheme like Kansas State was running today, and you got linebackers coming from all directions, that you're going to be able to trust that your guard's going to pick up this guy while you take the guy that you're supposed to.
Kansas State went through this exact same thing when Bill Snyder came in. They did not score points the first few years he was there. I mean, they were horrible. And then they get to that 1993 season and go 9-2. Listen to these coaches they had on the staff. It was Bill Snyder, head coach, 5th year. It took 5 years to get to a 9-win season. Bob Stoops was their co-defensive coordinator. Jim Levitt from USF was their other co-defensive coordinator. They won 9 games that year with Chad May at quarterback. That's not a name you know. This was before Willie sent him Michael Bishop.
Damn, that kid
before L. Roberson, before every other guy that went through that program. And I mean, they put it together. They just found a way to win games. And that year, 1993, they scored 10 points in a win. They scored 16 in a tie, 21 in a win, 21 in a win. I mean, it's what you got to be.
It's a long time ago when you're talking about ties.
Yeah. They played number 16 Colorado and tied them 16-16.
Wow.
That is one of the best things that college football ever did. They did the yellow line on the TV and no more ties.
True.
Because that's the dumbest thing in the whole world is to go sit for 4 hours and have a tie.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to accept that offense is gonna be ugly for at least, well, guaranteed for the rest of the year, but probably next year too. It's gonna run a little bit better, but it's going to we're just gonna do whatever it takes to win, and it's probably gonna be really, really ugly. That's what you got to do. I mean, you can be pretty and get your. Well, I won't say that. You can try to run some pretty offense and stack L's.
Yeah.
Or you
Mike,
can do it ugly and try to win.
Yeah. Mike, can you deliver to Oklahoma City? Can we just maybe figure that one out? I think that'd be a good work.
That'd be a hell of a Smokey and the Bandit. We got to get
with his core banquets.
Yeah.
And the Star Pizza. Be doing a disservice. Did we not mention Tom Herman being a little bit? Number one, 100% right. USF was running 2-point conversions up 30 points in the fourth quarter. But Herman did it to him last year, and I have no issue going and doing it right back, shoving it right up their ass. No issue. I do not believe that you've got to stop trying to score if you're up 30 points. I don't believe it. So Tom Herman was a little bitch. Tom Herman's having a bad year. They're 2-6. That's a shame. All right, let's wrap this up. Go ahead, Martin.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just still saying, is it a shame?
Is it a shame? Who knows? You know, it's not a shame.
Yes.
Just the good, wholesome people over at Coug Fans. Appreciate y'all. Brad, what are your final thoughts about what you saw tonight?
Great W. Enjoy the week off. Don't fuck it up like last time.
Martin? I mean,
Yeah.
Can you really top don't fuck it up like last time?
No, I'm not really sure. It's hard act to follow. It's like following Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be encouraging for the program going forward. It has to be encouraging for fans. This is a marquee win, put your, feathering your cap kind of thing for Willie. I'm sure there's a win they can look back to for Tulane, same situation. Recruits are going to see this. This is, again, they lost 41-0 to this team last year. In Willie's first opportunity.
Repeat that one more time.
41-0 last year, just a season ago. And Willie's first opportunity against that same program with essentially those same players, he had an opportunity to rectify, even just to look competitive, and they won the game. with obviously worse players. A lot of top talent left this team in the offseason with the coaching change, with potentially going to the draft, whatever the reason is. This team isn't as good at, talent-wise as it was last year. Maybe not the year before, maybe not the year before that. And they've already surpassed the win total in the conference last year. They've surpassed the expectations of many people already at this point, to be completely honest. We're having a real discussion about them making a bowl. Is it going to happen? I don't know. There's still 3 games left, but there's an opportunity. It's not out of the realm of possibility. 9 games in. And when we were 6 games in, we were laughing about the idea of a bowl game, the 3 of us.
Y'all were definitely laughing at me.
100%.
Still are.
Yeah. But, they haven't added talent. They haven't had the opportunity to trade for guys. This isn't the NFL. They've taken the same group of players they had, and they figured something out. The offense is crap. It is what it is. But it functions in a manner to move the ball, and when the field is flipped, they take advantage of those situations, which is all that they can ask for them at this point, knowing what they are. However, this defense, in a short time, and an opportunity to try to fill holes in the offseason, Wood has turned this into a top 25 defense. I don't think there's really an argument against that. And it's not 5 stars. It's not guys he's had the opportunity to build with. He showed up, and the team just plays better this year. It's faster. It's something to be excited about, because as they build talent, as they continue to stack wins and keep the Houston talent in Houston and continue to go outside to bring in more talent, this should be a program that competes for the Big 12 in the near future. In the next 3 to 4 years, you should be having that conversation if this is the point to jump off from. And I think that's all you can ask for in the first year after what you consider to be a catastrophic regime with the past coaching staff. So yeah, got to be excited.
You scored your first ever point against Kansas State tonight. 80 years of football, never did it. You only played them once, but still.
Yeah.
This is the first day of the rest of your lives, football lives. I think this is the turning point. And maybe we look back and say how stupid Ryan was for thinking this was a turning point, but I do. I think it's a turning point. You won a couple games early on. Last week felt like something clicked. You got that win. You made it happen in the fourth quarter. You saw how important all this conditioning was, how important this focus on the fourth quarter of winning penalties and winning. They want to talk about winning time of possession. You really can't do that when you only win 52 plays. But turnover battle and fourth quarter and all of these things, you're close on all of these things, which allows you to win games. And so a little something clicked last week, and they went right through that door tonight. And just so happy for those guys and that staff. And I am certain, 100% certain, that every single guy on that staff has texted or called recruits saying, look what we're doing. Here it comes. Mm-hmm. That boulder is getting bigger. Big news. Rice is going to start at 8:24. Just 6 hours after they should be home. But they're going to start. I'm going to go home and watch that game. What else do I have to do? It's 8:30. It feels like it's midnight. I feel like I've been here since 11.
Yeah.
So I have been here forever. But yeah, what a day.
I was really getting disappointed. It was going to cut into my nap time.
Well, it cut into mine.
Well, your naps last like 8 minutes.
They do.
Were y'all in person for the ECU homecoming game a couple years ago that was like delayed several hours? And they didn't win it overtime?
Yep. And Alton McCaskill won it, I think, on the first play of U of H's offensive possession. Went 25 yards for the score. I think I was down in this end zone, actually, when he did that. So, okay. We have gone on so long, people are commenting on the Rockets game. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that out. Star Pizza has been such a great partner for us, and we appreciate them so much. They're gonna do big things with us once we get into basketball season Monday night. We are less than 48 hours away from basketball. We're going to do it big this year. It's going to be bigger than we've ever. I mean, it's hard to do it bigger than we did it last year, but we're gonna.
We always do it big. That's just saying.
We're gonna go bigger and bigger and bigger. We're gonna just start interviewing Kelvin during games. I think that would go really well. He would be very excited about it.
God, I would love to have him mic'd up every night.
So Mario, our photographer, sits on the baseline right next to the bench in the second half, and he texts me certain things that Kelvin says. And I think the people that have those seats on the baseline near him should pay way more than the other people on the floor who don't get to hear him. Well, we're cutting off. We're leaving. Oh, he's getting his star pizza is what I assume this is happening. So y'all stay just a minute with us so we can have this weird ass what's going on. Jackson State at 7 p.m. Monday night, ESPN Plus. Brisket pizza, that's a good idea. The Aggies up 3 on South Carolina. Uh-oh. There he is. I knew this was coming. Do that terrible thing you just did with the box because it looks so bad when you did that. Maybe you can just make this box look a little better. He didn't even hear anything I'm saying, you dumbass.
Now I can hear you.
Brad, show us that box. There you go. Leave it. Just, okay. This is terrible. You're the worst promoter of anything I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, man.
Well,
you're blocking out the sun, for Christ's sakes. Idiot. Star pizza.
Perfect timing.
Go get you some food there, Brad. Thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate it. You're not going to have to watch Brad eat, but thank you so much for watching. We have had a great night. How about this team? And yes, the Cougar Blue merch is on fire. Fire emoji.
Big thumbs up to Eddie Nunez and everybody involved with the rollout.
Killed it. You've never seen anything go so well from a U of H perspective. It makes no sense. But
I mean, I've been here since I got here in '94. I've never seen any rollout of anything done so well, so thorough, so clean. Now, yeah. I'm sure when they do a post-mortem, they're still going to find things that they could do better, right. And that's great. But from where I sit, and I'm known as being kind of picky.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
Yeah.
It was
perfect, it really did.
Down to the very last detail. Perfect.
All right. That's it for us. Thank y'all so much. GoCoogs.com, CougFans.com. 2-0. Since we bought that one. We'll see you Monday night, and then we'll see you next Saturday night at Toyota Center with Auburn. Have fun. Later, guys. Thank you so much.